to episode number 258. I'm here with Nicolas
Yep.
from Quebec.
Quebec,
Right?
yeah.
And we are coming to you live from his restaurant, Red Ice Pizza, in
In Tainan.
Tainan. Yes. So that is it's exciting. We haven't been to Tainan very often. And yeah, man, I can't wait to share your story.
Yeah, can't wait too.
Thank you for salud, man. Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks for having us. Yeah. So why don't you tell me originally what brought you to Taiwan? That's always everybody's first question.
But at first I was supposed to just travel for a year pretty much everywhere. So I started with Taiwan because I've heard that it was kind of safe, but it was the only thing I knew. And also it was like in the middle of Asia. So if I wanted to go to Vietnam, Japan, or anywhere else, it would be easy from there.
Yeah.
And the third day I was here, I met who became my wife.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's a great story.
6 years later, I'm still in Tainan.
Okay. Yeah, so it's like a hub, you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Taiwan is like a hub for Asia. You know, a lot of people that live here, they get to go anywhere really cool.
Yeah.
Right.
And also because I didn't know anything about Taiwan, it was kind of nice to explore everything. Because even when I arrived here, it will sound dumb, but I didn't know like if people were speaking Taiwanese or Mandarin.
Okay.
Just like I knew nothing at all, so it was kind of exploring a bit more.
Okay, and from Quebec, right? From Quebec City, or where?
It's a small town named Roxton Falls. It's an hour from Montreal.
Okay.
Yeah. So really, really small.
So how different is your life in Taiwan and your life in Quebec?
Oh, everything's different.
Okay, yeah. Tell me a little bit about that.
When I'm in Quebec, I'm a gardener. I work on farm and I'm working with plants.
Really? Okay.
So I did landscaping, worked at the botanical garden.
Okay.
I had a pasture pig farm.
Wow.
I did a couple of those stuff.
Okay.
So when I came in Taiwan, the only thing I could do, even if my English is not the best, was teaching English.
Okay.
Yeah, and I actually enjoyed it, but the cram school system was not that great. That's it.
Man, we all came here starting as a teacher.
Yeah.
We did the same thing. And I also I have a daughter. I love kids. I coached soccer since I was a young age, and I coached here. And I loved it. I enjoyed it. So when I came here, I loved the kids. Again, I would probably still be doing it because I really like kids, aside from the fact that the cram school system is not great.
Yeah, I think it's a business. It's like, you cannot grade them for real because otherwise they will just change schools. Like, okay, cool, then let's just play ball in the class.
It's something like you cannot give under 80 or something like that. I can't remember what the school.
It was like you could have everything wrong.
Yeah.
And the first time, because like my principal, I won't make fun now, but
sure, okay.
But my principal asked me to like make a correction sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time I did it, like some of our students has everything wrong, and it's alright. It's just I don't mind. Just read it, so I give them like C or D because I knew they were still trying. So no fail, but just like try.
Yeah.
And he said, no, if it's all wrong, it's like A minus. Then there's a point. So like their parents will like spit money at them for like 8 years, and after that they will go to anywhere they can speak English. They will say to their kids, "Hey, speak," and they won't be able to say a word.
Yeah.
It will be worse for everybody, but it was not a popular opinion.
No, it's actually a very common thing though here. I actually remember going into a school and applying for work, and they're like, "Oh, where are you from?" From Canada, and then they just okay. The first school that I taught at had a decent training program, which is lucky for me.
Yeah.
Because afterwards, the schools I went to had zero training. They just said, teach English.
Yeah.
Do you have books? Do you have curriculum? Do you have anything? They're like, no, go teach English. So because I was trained, at the other school, then it was okay. But if I was just dropped in there, I would have been lost for sure.
Oh, yeah. It's rough. And the thing is, like, from my experience, all the other all the other Taiwanese teachers are really like hardworking. They're really good and they care about the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And us, we're more mascot. So it's like, then they will work like 70 hours per week.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, they will resent us to some extent because we look like we're doing nothing, but just do
our job. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like a bit of an unhealthy.
It's pretty unhealthy. It's like a toxic thing, right?
Yeah.
I remember almost not quite every payday, but every time I got paid, almost every month, every second month, when it was payday, the whole school would order, pizza party, or they'd have all this stuff, and I paid. And they're just like, oh, well, you make the most, so you're supposed to pay. And I was like, oh,
yeah, but
okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I didn't know because I was like 23. It's like, okay, I have no idea. And they're just like, no, you have to pay for all this stuff. So I just said, okay.
Yeah, so I just said that most of the time it will be like the management that will be a bit weird.
I think that happens in a lot of businesses, but definitely here for us, the first school that I taught at, which was like 20 something years ago, management wasn't great, but to the kids now are like 25, and they come to my restaurant.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they come to my restaurant like, hey, teacher, and I look at them and like they look familiar because 5 and 25.
Oh yeah,
that's a huge difference, right? And then I see the parents, and the parents look the same, just a little bit older, maybe a little grayer, as we all are 20 years later, right? And I'm like, oh my gosh, these are my favorite kids from kindergarten when I was 23, and I'm 45 now. This is crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I think the kids are amazing. The system, I think, needs some work.
Yeah. Especially with something like education, it's so important.
Yeah. I think the government wants to have Taiwan like dual language. English is like a first language within I don't know how many years. That's tough.
They said by
2030. Yeah, that's a tough one, man. What do you think about that?
The thing is, like, Quebec isn't even like bilingual, so I don't.
There you go. Yeah.
But it is. But like, if you go to my hometown, it will be rough. Or like, if you go on the countryside, and which understand because. It's like French is important, and also like here, Taiwanese is important, Mandarin is important.
Yeah.
So like all your native tongue is really important because it's part of who you are. But I say it will be hard here.
Yeah.
Became completely bilingual.
I think because of the system, right? And also I remember when I was coaching soccer in the Danshui area, and I was moving up there, and I was on the MRT. I passed by a school. And I wrote the number down, and I called them. I said, hey, do you guys need English teachers? And they said, yeah, we need. I said, okay, cool. Do I get an interview? And they said, yeah, come tomorrow. We pay $500 an hour. And I said, okay, I usually get 7. I can't remember. It was something like that, 7 on my old job, but we can talk. Let's have an interview. So I went in for the interview, dressed up with my resume. I was probably like 26 or something like that. And they just kind of look at me and said, okay, 700, here's your thing, blah, 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 come tomorrow, 8:30. And so I didn't have to show them anything. I said, do you want the resume? They said, no. I said, okay, no problem. Lucky for them, I love kids and I was a good teacher. But the funniest thing was, I always wondered why. And I remember when this one time, you could see the, black Mercedes-Benz, rich business guy, he comes out. Oops, sorry about that.
Oh, sorry.
Rich business guy comes out, and he comes in and he's looking around. He's like, where's your English teacher? And then they're like, oh, Ed, can you come out? And I went out, and I'm like, hey, how you doing, man? And then they just look at me. They take this big wad of blue bills. Okay. And they pay the tuition right there. Bang, 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 bang. Okay, you can go back. And I'm just like, whoa.
Oh, yeah.
This is crazy. Yeah.
Especially like in kindy kind of classes, because I started as kindy teacher.
Yeah.
It was the same. It's like,
yeah, me too.
If you look okay.
Yeah.
And after that, because they know that like your co-teacher will help with patch everything that you don't do right.
That's exactly right, man. That's exactly right. So you started up teaching, and then when did you decide, I want to change, I want to be an entrepreneur, I want to open up a pizzeria? The pizza's great so far. It's fantastic. I'm going to eat while you talk.
No, it's all right. I was thinking about that for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, like, when I discovered, like, I was just on YouTube watching some people selling stuff by the street, and I saw a kind of small pizza oven that you can like just travel with.
I've seen those.
Yeah, kind of rock box and stuff. So I said, let's try just like to buy one and to just try to sell it by the street.
Okay.
So I was thinking about that like for a year.
Okay.
And as usual, I was only talking about it and doing anything. And one day my wife just said, if you really hate what you're doing right now and you know what you want to do, just like do it, because you're wasting your time. So I bought it. I bought one in Quebec. I bring it back, and after that I sold in West District in Tainan for like a year every Tuesday.
Like on the street?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
by like an entrance place called Yuba. Thanks a lot. They helped me a lot.
Shout out to Yuba.
But yeah, it was just like every Tuesdays, but it was almost nothing. Honestly, it was nice because I had good comments, but on a Tuesday,
Tuesdays,
everybody's working, and it's like in a small alley, so it's not that many people. So like the neighbor buying it. But
so kind of like a pop-up every Tuesday at like a restaurant kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was also sometimes like doing some festival like Tainan May Jam.
Nice.
That's like open our eyes about like what could be. So it was really nice. Or some like just market like No Food No Life or other places that I forget about Tainan. So I was just bringing everything I had with my scooter. So it was kind of
that's awesome.
time consuming and really exhausting, but I learned a lot. And as soon as I could, I just start to look for places and from this place.
Okay. And you're in Tainan. I guess your wife is from Tainan?
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. Did you come immediately to Tainan?
I spent like the first 2 days in Taipei.
2 days, okay.
And after that, I went to Tainan. I was supposed to stay here a month.
Okay.
To do like LPEX, it's like roofing, just helping in hostel in exchange of room or not even a room, just a bed.
Yeah.
And then after that, just like I stay here because I still believe that Tainan is probably with Taidong are the two best places for me in Taiwan.
Okay.
So I'm really pleased to be here because it's kind of everything good about like countryside, but it's still a big city for me. So you have everything you want. Yeah. And as long as you have a scooter, it's pretty convenient.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay. I think that's cool because a lot of people, including myself, we come and we land and we do Taipei first, and then we just get stuck in Taipei. So I've been here for over 20 years, and this is the second time I've been to Tainan. Oh, it's pretty ridiculous. It's ridiculous, but I was coaching soccer on the weekends and on the evenings, and then I was teaching, all day, weekdays.
Yeah.
So it was basically like 7 days a week for a long time. It was good. I enjoyed it. But yeah, eventually, similar thing. I got married, and then it's actually my wife's idea. She wanted to open a coffee shop, and I said, okay, well, let's. I said, well, for me, even like I started to drink coffee maybe 1 or 2 years ago. Not seriously, but kind of like I'm not a big coffee guy. So for me to be all of a sudden the coffee guy I hate to be the liar, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But my family's from Mexico, first generation Canadian. So at home we just eat Mexican food all the time. And I thought, well, at that time, 20-something years ago, there was no Mexican food, 16, 17 years ago.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, you know what, let's try. We did the same thing. We started with a stand. I was doing teaching all day and coaching, and then we would do the stand all night. And I did that for 1 year. Similar story. It's tough. It's tough, but it's good because you kind of get the kinks out of the business.
Yeah. And also, it's stupid, but like when we start our Instagram, before we open, I hate like social media, but still like when we open, we already had like 150 something follower. It's not a lot, but just enough that the first 2 weeks we had customer because they were happy for us.
That's great.
So, and after that, it just grew and grew. And
don't forget to follow his Instagram. I will put it in the description. I'll put your Instagram in there. Actually, your Instagram is quite good. Like
thanks.
Over 1,000, 1,500 or something like that, 1,200, something like that, which is great.
Yeah.
How long has this location been open?
4 months now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't understand what happened, but
that's fantastic. Because ours, we're I think just over 3,000, but I've been open for 15 years or something ridiculous.
Yeah, but it's maybe because when you opened, there weren't any Instagram, so you already had like a base customership that were coming. So if you go to a place for 5 years and suddenly Instagram appear, you won't say, let's
add them. That makes sense too. Yeah. Recently, it's growing a lot because I put a lot of the podcasts. But before that, it was probably maybe 2,000, maybe less than 2,000. It's crazy.
But it changed everything, honestly, and especially that like it's quite nice because you notice that Taiwanese like to do like food vlog and stuff like this.
Yes.
They don't want to like make a career out of it. They just want to do it for fun.
Yeah, I think it's great.
It's kind of free publicity. People pay you to do publicity, which is quite nice.
I think it's great,
And most of them, they're amazing at it. They're just really, really, really good at it. Yeah. So we're lucky enough to have a couple of people come here with like a big following that helps like from the second month.
That's great. And I also think Tainan is kind of known as like a foodie kind of a city, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people in Taiwan, they'll be like, "Oh, we got to go to Tainan. You got to get like the noodles, or you got to get something else." So you sent me some recommendations. We went last night to the beef soup place.
Yeah, that one.
That place, there was a huge line,
Yeah.
and it was great. It was fantastic. Everything's beef,
Yeah.
right? I can't remember the name. I forget the name. Wen Chang, something like
I
that.
think they also have one that is not that far from here. They open a second one. Yeah. So here it's less busy a bit, so it's easier to enter. You don't need to line up.
So we went to the new one by the river.
Oh, nice.
And when we went there, it was like 40 people in line. So we didn't wait too long, maybe 25 minutes,
So that bad.
which is okay. It was okay. But it was crazy because Tuesday night line up. And food was good.
Yeah.
Sometimes, when you go to a place, I usually take when people own restaurants or kind of they cook a lot, then their recommendation is more important. You know what I mean? Like sometimes people are like, oh, you gotta go try this place, and you go and they're not food people.
Yeah.
And then it's crap, and you're like, oh man, what is this? And you can't say, don't give me recommendations because you suck.
Just ignore them. Say,
Cool, thanks for that. Yeah, I didn't have a chance to try it. Yeah. So pizza. Why did we do pizza?
And because like when I was studying agriculture in Quebec, I was living with a bunch of people who were all making like sourdough bread.
Oh, beautiful.
And just like nonstop. It was like
Okay.
just insane how much we're making for the people who were living at that place.
Okay.
And I just continue to like make sourdough or just loving working with dough in general.
Okay.
And in Taiwan, it's more expensive to buy like stuff, like just opening a bakery, it would be too difficult. And also I wouldn't have the skills at all.
Okay.
But pizza, I thought that I could just like learn a bit by myself.
Sure. Okay.
And also like the equipment is a lot cheaper. I can manage everything by myself.
Okay.
So it's kind of nice. And also when I arrived in Tainan, there weren't that much good pizza.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. That's
now there are more and more. So at least it's nice. There are a couple of good places, but like our places, there weren't any.
Okay.
So we had Pizza Hut that, it's okay, but
chain pizza. Right?
yeah,
It's like
Napoli that is kind of alright.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the best for that kind of pizza. So I said, might as well. And this is also why I wanted to open in East District, because if you go in West District, everything is more expensive. Like the rent is kind of crazy.
Okay.
And also it's more tourist. So people will come once. After that, go back to Taipei, go back to Taichung, and never come back. But here we're outside of that a little bit. So people will come once and they like it. You
get the local crowd, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's beautiful. And the name, the Red Eyes Pizza. You gotta let me know.
Because there's like how can I say, family friendly reason. Let's say that
Okay, gotcha.
Like my dad was like in a baseball team when I was younger.
Okay.
Like this one with my uncle and my friend's dad and uncle also. They were called themselves Red Eyes. You probably can guess on the picture.
Yeah, of course, I can guess why.
Like in the 70s, 80s.
Gotcha. Yeah.
They like music, let's say.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I got you.
And when we're 17, because was all our dads and uncle and everything, we said, let's try to start again like the Red Eyes. So now this was us like at 16, 17. Starting like our own like Red Eyes
team.
Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful.
So and when I came back, when I decided to start that here, it's like it's easy to remember, easy to say, even if your English is not amazing. Red Eyes,
Yeah.
It kind of meaningless.
Okay.
So,
okay. Oh, that's really cool. Okay. And what do you think? How are locals kind of responding to the food? I mean, it looked like you had a few tables in here, which is looking good at lunchtime.
Yeah.
So how's the response to your food? The dough is great.
Thanks. It's actually really good, because at first I wanted to maybe try more stuff than only pizza, but I decided to stick with pizza because everybody knows what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't need to introduce it. Like huge. If I was trying to make like poutine or something like this.
I was going to ask that.
Need to like tell people, it's that, and finding that cheese will be impossible here anyway.
Yeah.
But pizza, I didn't need it to introduce it, and they already had like references, so they can compare. And I prefer mine than like Pizza Hut, let's say. So if people try Pizza Hut and they say, "Oh, it's all right," and they try mine, I was confident enough to think that people will like it more and want to come back.
Yeah, for sure.
And so far, it was really good. Especially that, like in the neighborhood here, it's more. The people are older a bit, so I was worried because.
Okay, yeah, that's tough for sure.
Yeah.
The old crowd, yeah.
But finally, they were like really open. Everybody tried it. Most of them came back, or they bring their children, their grandchildren.
Yeah.
Every time, like there's like grandma with their grandchildren, they come here, have like a Hawaiian pizza.
That's great.
Because it's kind of easy, and I tried to make it not too expensive because
I understand.
it should be like. I feel that everybody should be able to
afford it. Okay. So Hawaiian pizza is okay then in your books, yeah?
Yeah, I mean,
I love Hawaiian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like it too. But I never understood
the hate for Hawaiian.
Chill. It's like
people freak out. Italians freak out.
Yeah. But just caring so much. It's like if I go like in Napoli making Hawaiian pizza, okay, I understand it will be to some extent. Like,
understand, yeah.
Could be disrespectful, but it's dough with sauce. Just chill. If you care that much, then.
Something else is it? Oh, hey, yeah. No, I agree. I think it originated in Canada. Oh, okay. Hi.
Yeah, Ontario. Hey,
look at this. You want a slice? Okay, it's all right. He's like, hey, what is this?
This is why she doesn't.
Yeah, she loves
downstairs when there's customers.
The eyes. It's okay. Yeah. So basically, I think the Hawaiian originated in Canada.
Yeah, in Ontario, I think.
Is it? Yeah. Which for me, I grew up eating Hawaiian pizza. I love it because it's like ham or bacon and pineapple. So you have the savory and you have the sweet. So for me, it's perfect. It's actually always my go-to pizza.
Yeah.
I remember one of my Italian buddies, we were in Taipei, and he's like, there's this new place. You got to go try it. And he was really excited. So I said, let's go. We went together. I said, okay, let's eat. And, we're going to eat. And he's like, they got this, they got that, they got everything. And he's Italian. And he's like, okay, well, what do you want? I said, well, let's get a Hawaiian. Yeah. I said, let's do a Hawaiian.
Just to start a fight.
And he's just like, no, we're not getting Hawaiian. I'm like, why not, man? You got the salty, savory, sweet. It's a perfect blend, And he was like, no Hawaiian. It's pretty funny. I knew it was going to be it's funny though. But it's delicious. It's from my go-to,
Yeah, so far we're lucky because we had a couple of Italian come here.
Okay.
And nobody complained about it.
Okay.
And even once someone take it. So it's like...
I think because you have a lot of experience with the dough is great. Are you incorporating some kind of sourdough stuff into it or not at all?
At first, when I was trying my dough, I tried to make fully sourdough, and most of people were saying, "Oh, it's interesting," but interesting doesn't bring back people.
Yeah.
So instead, what I do is just long fermentation, cold fermentation.
Okay.
And now because we receive a new oven, so at some point soon we'll make focaccia, but the focaccia. That will be sourdough based.
Okay.
Beautiful. Just about, not only based, but 100% sourdough instead.
Okay.
Because I really like it, but if people don't like it as much as I do, especially for the amount of work that will add.
Yes. I always have people say, oh, why don't you have this on the menu or that on the menu? And they're always like the 1% that know a lot about maybe Mexican food. They know about tamales and stuff like that. And I'd be like, I've had that on the menu, and it's 20 times the work of what I have now, and 100 times less sales.
I know, it's crazy. And
I'm not doing it. Yeah.
It's and sometimes just details, something as stupid as on our menu, we have a Mexican pizza.
Yeah.
The thing is at first I call it a cheesy beef pizza.
Okay.
Because...
Yeah. But you don't want to say Mexican. I understand.
Because it's just jalapeno with enough meat that I put my own spice on it.
Yeah.
But people understood, but it was less of a hook when I changed it to Mexican. It's one of our bestseller because
beautiful.
I don't know, so it's nice, but it's just slight details that sometimes when people come here, they don't want to have too complicated. They say, oh, Mexican, all right. It's just I know I will like it. Or sourdough. Oh, what's that sourdough? I'm not sure. And if you need to ask too many questions about what you're eating, sometimes
that's true.
This is.
I agree 100%, and you have permission to use Mexican. There you go. So we'll send a clip of that. No, so I think I agree. Sometimes you want to do something complicated, and then you for me, we have enchiladas, right? And enchiladas are mostly pretty much all over Mexico. With corn tortillas, right? When we started, people were saying, how come we have no enchiladas? And I said, well, because we're home making our flour dough, our flour tortillas but there's no corn dough. I can't find it. And, I didn't know how to make it from corn at the time.
Yeah.
And which is what we do now. But I told them, I can't do it with that. And they're like, oh, just use the flour. I said, no, that's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. So after about a year, maybe 2 years, I said, okay, you know what? Let's do a special. Enchiladas, everything the same, but flour tortilla instead of corn. Okay. Becomes our top seller. Still till this day, is the top seller. And we're like, okay. But in between then and now, I was able to get the corn flour and I was able to do that. And then I switched from flour to corn. And the enchilada sales, and everybody said,
it's not the same anymore.
They were so good before, now they're no good. I said, no, this is the actual original, real one. And they're like, no, the other ones. So we switched back and again, back up to the top. But people, they don't know. And we do have option for both. And I would say even now, even flour tortillas, corn tortillas, we have both. But corn is the original way, but flour still outsells corn like, oh my God, probably like 10 to 1, 30 to 1, maybe. Like, it's crazy. But you're just like, hey, that's what you guys want?
And the thing is, like, we just want to stay open. So
exactly,
it's sometimes, I understand that there's some stuff that I won't budge on it, that I won't change just because it's important to me. But there's sometimes like, you know what? Good.
You're happy, I'm happy, everyone's happy, pay the bills.
Exactly.
So what's a typical day for you?
It will be waking up like earlier than when I was in the prim school, but not that early, like 7 maybe. I prepare like the dough ball and everything. Make sure the ingredients are kind of all right.
Okay.
Take a little break, and after that I come back to do the opening. I clean everything, mop the floor, pass the broom, sweep the floor.
Okay.
Prepare the ingredient if there's some like our beef, our bacon or stuff like this, just to make sure everything is fresh. Prepare the sauce. So that I open from 11 to 2.
Okay.
And at 2 we take a break. So I prepare the dough for the night.
Okay.
And I also prepare the dough for the base, the
next
bulk, the bulk dough for the day after.
Okay. Beautiful.
So, and that's pretty much it. We open again at 5, from 5 to 9.
Okay.
And at 9 when we close, it's done.
So lunch, evening, which one's busier?
Evening, always.
Yeah. Okay. And I see that you're doing like craft beer stuff like that.
And
how's the craft beer scene? How are you doing with that?
The thing is, it's the same for the pizza. When I arrived here, it was really hard to find Taiwanese craft beer.
Sure.
But every time I tried one, I thought they were great.
Yeah.
So I decided to just like sell craft beer, but only Taiwanese one, because it's easy to find Belgian beer or like just if you want like German one or or European style.
Yeah.
But Taiwanese one in Tainan at least was difficult to find.
Okay.
So now I try to have a rotation of like all the Taiwanese craft beer. We haven't had all of them, but
there's a few kicking around. There's a lot now, right?
Yeah. But still, it's really good, and they're easy to work with generally.
Yes.
So
okay. Do you have any favorites yourself?
I really like Ugly Half.
Ugly Half's got good stuff.
Yeah. But we discovered one. It's Ugly Half, really good. Formosa from.
Okay.
I don't remember. I think from Taichung. I'm not sure, but Formosa is really, really good.
Yeah.
DB Beer is from Taiwan.
I don't know that one.
That we discovered it like last week.
Okay. No, I don't know that one. Okay.
They're doing really, really fantastic stuff.
Nice. Okay.
And K Beer from Jinmen.
Okay. I don't even know that.
Really, really good also. Like Galiang based kind of beer.
Oh, that's cool.
And it still tastes like beer, because sometimes when you have like Galiang beer, it will just be more like sourdough stuff. Interesting than good.
Interesting.
This one really has a good beer taste.
Okay, nice.
So, yeah.
And what are so we also do a similar thing where we have like 8 taps, and it's all local beers, and we rotate all in, like Red Point and all.
Oh, Red Point's also Red Point,
right? Like we rotate all these guys in, and I deal with these guys myself, which is great because then I get to try and choose the beers and stuff. And I feel that slowly, I think that the Taiwan craft beer is coming up, but I feel that people are enjoying it more. Like locals will come in, and then even if they don't want Mexican, they'll come in and they'll be like, oh, they know that we have this, and they're like, oh, what do they have today? Oh, we'll try this, we'll try that. So I think that's in Taipei, where I am in Tianmu, at least it's like that. What about down here?
Sorry, I just see my cat like.
Oh yeah. Gonna eat my cables. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. That one's off. It's okay. That camera's off. It's good. That one's off. Yeah. No, because I didn't. I needed to switch her. But
Yeah.
it's okay. It's all good.
In Tainan, I think like it's getting there.
Okay.
But it will be mainly foreigner that will buy like beer because people here will. So far,
I give
still,
it time? No.
it's the Hawaiian one. Yeah, you can give it a piece of.
There you go. Okay. You good now? Yeah.
But they will still think it's a bit expensive because if you have like a big type of beer like for 100, but we still sell them cheaper than what's recommended. Like when we deal with them, because I just want people to try it.
Yeah.
Because even if we make a little bit less money on them, but we're the only place they can have it in Tainan, then they'll come back
Beautiful.
here.
Yeah.
So,
and also, I think that beer and stuff like that, I'll try this. The beer and stuff like that, people, they know that, if I want to get a nice beer, they can come here. Maybe they just have a beer, have one or two, and then they're like, now I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also like so easy. Take a beer.
Yeah.
Take out, I don't care, just like buy a beer, go away, and
exactly.
It's easy money.
Easy money, yeah.
Especially that we don't have tap, so it's even easier.
Yeah. Tap sounds like a good idea, but to do it right, it's tough because you have to always clean the lines, or you're cleaning and cleaning and cleaning. And I've tried many places where I won't mention any names, but where I know they don't clean the line, and you try it and you're like, ooh, it's bad.
Yeah.
So I would tell a friend of, these guys have this beer on tap, it's really good, and we go. We try it, and then you smell it, and it smells just like a toilet. And I'm like, oof.
Yeah, and you know where it's coming from.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the worst part.
That's bad, yeah. And I'm like, no, I know the brewer actually, personally, and their beer is great.
Yeah.
But these guys are just cleaning the lines, man. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't have employee, but it's not true. Like, my wife sometimes helps me when she can at night, but she helped me a lot with everything. So
of course, I understand.
More than a bit, but sometimes, like her brother, once or twice a week, maybe 3 times. Sometimes I come at night to help me.
Okay.
So I can just concentrate on making pizza, because at first I was trying to make everything by myself.
Yeah.
But like on a Saturday night, I had to. It was too much.
That's how we start, man. You got to start. You kind of do everything yourself, and then when it gets to the point where you're like, this is too much, and then that's when you start to bring people in, and it's tough because then. It's like another step in the journey.
Yeah.
Because you're doing everything, which is great. Quality is always going to be 100%. Everything's 100%. Then when you bring someone in, you have to do maybe less, but you also have to make sure they're doing it right. So it's like a growing process.
Yeah.
So I get that. Yeah.
Also, I wanted a small place to do everything by myself. I just want to. The thing is, I open a place not to be the boss, but to be like free of what I want to do, kind of.
Okay.
So. Like last week, we went to Taipei and we could like close store for 2 days. And the worst that can happen is people won't have pizza on Saturday. And it's sad, but it's not the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world, exactly.
Yeah, so it's kind of nice about that. And I like to work alone, like listening to music, podcast stuff, and just be chill a bit. So I don't want to be that much bigger. I don't want to have like tons of employees. I just want to continue on that pace. And yeah.
What have you found to be like your biggest challenge with setting up the whole pizzeria?
I would say finding the ingredient at first.
Okay.
Because like just finding, it took me a year to find pepperoni.
Okay.
I thought it would be easy, but finding not at all, and having like the good one that you could like cut. Because for example, I think Pizza Bear in Taipei, they make their own.
I know him. Yeah.
And their pizza is really good, but I don't have the knowledge or the time to make my own pepperoni, so I had to.
Oh, you're getting from him then?
No. But I
I
think it's really like it's kind of a badass move to be able to do it by yourself.
Yeah.
Me, I just try to find a place, and also I like it when they're pre-cut, so they will cut a little bit, like.
You like that cup, right?
Yeah. So, I think ingredient would have been the hardest, and after that, manage, because my Chinese, it's 6 out of 10. It's all right to talk about pizza, let's say, but like when we're right here, we need to renovate everything.
Okay.
And I couldn't talk with the guy about renovation because I don't know those words at all.
Yeah, no, that's a different. Yeah, I don't know those words.
Yeah. And setting up everything, because I don't know how a kitchen should look like.
Understand.
I don't know how. I kind of knew how much spaces I needed, but everything was like new to us.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah.
I think that it's funny because your situation is similar to mine, where I'm not like a chef. I didn't grow up as a chef. I just cooked with mom and stuff like that. And then so I have a lot of chef friends that are just like they cooking wise they blow me away, but they're very like they'll be just focused on that one thing. And when you have a restaurant, you have to do like everything. You have to make sure that there's no cobwebs here, or people will be like, "Oh, yeah, what does the kitchen look like?" People freak out. So you have to like have the Instagram. You have to have so many things.
Yeah,
and I have my super chef. Yeah, it's crazy, right? But like my super chef friends, when they open restaurants, mostly it doesn't go well because they're just like, my food is amazing, which it is.
Yeah.
But then that's it. They're like, they cannot do the other stuff, or they don't want to because they're like, I'm a chef, I don't need to do.
Yeah.
Which is tough. Yeah.
No, you need to, because I like to do pizza, but I don't mind to do anything as long as I can like generally listen to music while doing it.
Yeah, that's great.
I go to my own pace, and so this is what I really wanted to. So that's why I don't mind. And even there's so many stuff I should improve at. But still,
it's great so far.
It's not the only thing I wanted to do, just only pizza.
Okay, yeah.
So it's kind of help in a way that if I need to clean the AC, then I won't complain for like an hour because it's not my job. No, my job is to make the place nice.
Yeah.
And make sure that people want to come back or are comfortable here. So.
Yeah. I mean, what we had today was great, man. Appreciate it. Do you have any advice for people that maybe are thinking like yourself, maybe a year and a half ago, thinking about maybe starting something like this?
First, go step by step, start small.
Okay.
But different for everybody, but for me it was like, you start small.
Yeah.
You listen to people, what they want, generally. You make sure that what you have to offer, you don't have like a lot of people who can do the same around you.
Sure.
Because I know a couple of people that are trying to do stuff that they don't know the market.
Okay.
So it's like, I will do this, but there's already like 20 other people who are doing the same.
Understand that.
And they're doing it really well already. So doing this, and also just try to know the place well in general, know why.
Your location, your community.
Yeah, exactly. So talk to everybody a bit, try to be nice, make sure that what you have to offer, people could like it. It's not just like some fancy stuff that it's good, but
foie gras or something. People are like, what is that? Yeah.
So something that will be easy to introduce to people.
Okay.
And also have something just a bit different.
Yeah.
Because if you try to do something that it's already there.
Yeah.
So
I understand. I remember now there's more like taco places and stuff in Taipei. There's quite a few. When I started, there was none. And when people would come in, and I would be like, it was their first time eating Mexican food. In the very beginning, they had no idea. They thought we were Indian food in the very beginning. And then slowly Mexican food people start to know what it is. And they're like, oh yeah, I had Mexican food before. I'm like, oh, great. Where? Oh, KFC. I'm like, okay, so that was the next level. I'm like, that's not Mexican. No, it's not. They're like, because in KFC, they'll be like, 墨西哥卷饼. You'll just be like, they'll have the tortilla, and then they'll put lettuce and chicken strips, whatever, and then sauce, whatever. And then, but they'll say 墨西哥, whatever. And then, And then people traveled a little bit. They're like, okay, well, maybe Taco Bell. Okay, well, that's a little bit better than KFC because it's at least supposed to be Mexican.
Yeah.
Right? And then you're like, next. And now people are slowly starting to know. The good thing about pizza is they already know what it is.
Yeah. And it's also like knowing what kind of people you want to attract to your store, because there are a couple of good places like in Tainan, but they're maybe fancier a bit than here. They have spaghetti, or they're like legit Italian place, and their pizza are great.
Yeah.
But here you can come anytime, students, family, couple, if you're like older people, just like everybody can come here, and it's kind of easygoing, chill,
easy to access. It's affordable, right? Because you got to get people to try it.
Yeah, because like me, I wanted to try to have like, if you have 2 kids and you're 2 parents, you can come here and eat under 1,000.
Beautiful.
So it's kind of nice. So it encourages people to come here during weekday, because Saturday and Friday it's maybe a bit easier because you have students that want to go out, or people that.
It's a cool place, and it's a hip, like a trendy. You go out, get some Western food and some craft beer, right?
Yeah. But like on a Tuesday night,
Yeah.
I need to have the families too.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah. So if it's not too expensive,
Okay.
you can have like bunch of people, like a group of 5
Okay.
that will have 5 pizzas, but it's still like 1,200. But if you go to Napoli, 5 pizzas, it will be like
Yeah. I do.
more, and it's not the same.
I haven't had Napoli in years, actually. What I remember from them was the cheesecake. That's what, from like 20 years ago, it was probably the last time I had Napoli. Once in a while, we'll do like a Pizza Hut, but after you get it, after like you're hungry and you have one slice or two, and then actually you feel sick because it's actually not, maybe I shouldn't say, but
No,
it's not great. It's not great, but it's, you're like,
Yeah, but it's like a kids' party food.
Yeah,
Or
that's
just
what
like a company party kind of pizza, which is all right. And
okay.
on those kind
It's a
of
different
stuff,
thing.
I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
There are reasons why I like pizza today. Just now I try more and more, and
Okay.
I change my taste.
Well, one more question. What do you feel makes your pizza different than all the other ones?
I will say that I do everything by myself, so it's like I have hands on everything, every ingredient, every pizza that people eat from here. I make them. And I made everything I could. Like I made the sauce, I cook every topping on it, I cut everything.
Okay.
All the prep, everything is done by me.
Okay.
And also, I just like to do it. I take my time and like cold fermentation, like dough. I don't think that many people are doing it here.
I've never even heard of that. Yeah.
So it's kind of
cool.
And a lot of people tell us that our crust is QQ. So if it's what you like,
it's
it will
very
be
nice.
different. I would say.
I'm gonna go eat the rest right now.
Yeah.
Man, do you have anything you want to add before we call it? That was fantastic. Thank you for sharing your story.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you thank you so much.
Thank you.
I will go and I'll upload and I'll get everything ready. Thank you guys for watching. In the description below, we will have a link to Red Eyes Pizza. If you are in Tainan, you have to come and check it out.
Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
All right.
I love it. Thank you guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Boom.
Great.
Gotcha. Awesome, man.